This is Jessica DeMassa reporting live with some breaking news about our favorite category of wearables. Oh yes, we have breaking news about socks. Matthew Holt reporting live on the scene. Please tell us what's going on with the socks.
So important news from Owlet. The FDA has blown their socks off the market.
Way to stick the landing on that one, big guy. It is the November 30th episode of Health in 2.00.
You don't think that's the case? The FDA tells them that they can't put their socks on the market anymore. They have to. I think they can sell them anymore. They got a warning letter before. Stock went down about 20% last month. It's still in the kind of the doldrums. They're on about $4 a share. You interviewed them a while ago, and I hear you're going to be very famous in Utah.
Oh my God! Yes, I interviewed the CEO Kurt Workman when Owlet went public via their SPAC, and today, great news. Fox News in Utah reached out and was like, can we use a clip from your interview? I'm like, oh my God.
Jessica, you're going to be one of those Fox News bimbos.
I totally already am. No.
Oh, man. All right. We're also.
I'm excited, though. I mean, they had a really interesting business model. If you actually watch this interview I did with him, there's a lot more to it than the sock. And like they were moving into like cameras and like heat sensing. And
but
like
it's a subscription model, right? So you get the sock to look after your kid, you get a bunch of stuff. And but they were the ones who had we're going to grow from 38 million to 4 billion in revenue in like 3 years. And you're going, oh,
did you not see that TAM slide in that?
The TAM slide was everybody who's ever had a child ever is going to send them a massive check.
Well, I mean, we're all appropriating, I suppose, right?
Well, the birth rate apparently has been dropping a little bit, but not enough to worry about their TAM.
Not enough Owlet was going to be affected, but I'm sure.
All right. Let's do whatever we're supposed to be doing here.
Get your timer.
The timer is there, and we are
going. EasyHealth gets 35 million plus 100 million in credits. What's going on over here?
Pretty interesting. This is a Medicare Advantage broker, right? So they're going out recruiting recipients, and it's pretty valuable to recruit a Medicare Advantage recipient. Even better, they are using this cash to buy other brokers' Medicare Advantage members that they've received. Pay them off for what the health plan would pay them over time, and then they are sending people to the home to basically upcode their risk adjustment factor. Don't know how long that'll last, but everyone's doing it, and it's ambitious, but pretty interesting to see. If you can really generate a big market share swing in the whole world of Medicare Advantage, it might actually be pretty interesting. I've spoken to the CEO, pretty aggressive.
Interesting. All right, Luma Health gets 130 million, brings their total up to 170. What do they do?
Ton of people in this space, and they've done quite well already. They're San Francisco-based company. This is in the patient engagement, messaging from your doctor's clinic to Stefano Bini, remember, talked about these guys way back when in 2019. He was using them in his clinic at UCSF. There are a bunch of other competitors here. Tendo I interviewed recently, all that money from General Catalyst and a bunch of others, but they're probably the market leader in this space, although Tiger Text is there as well. So,
Yeah. Calal Health gets 77 million. Ascension Ventures led this one.
Yeah, this is a device to work on your essential tremors. I saw another thing like that at Frontier. It's called Jogo Health. So there's a lot to be done. And so can we create a device that does something to stop tremors for Parkinson's and other conditions like that? Pretty interesting what's going on. Jogo Health one was around paralysis and strokes and what have you. Pretty interesting. Can you kind of retrain the brain? Yeah.
Oh, how about this? Evercore buys Dr. Chrono. What is this going to do for them?
Okay, so this is interesting. Dr. Chrono, I've known these guys, Dan Kligos and Mike Nesselman for a long time. They launched, if you get this, at the only ever Health 2.0 for Doctors conference we had back in Florida, in your hometown of Jacksonville in 2010. That was the conference when I had really bad shingles and was on a ton of opiates the whole way through and somehow got through it. I don't know how I did it.
That's amazing.
They launched, so they have been basically.
This had it all. Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah.
That's good. And they've raised about 60 million overall. By the way, they're my chiropractor's EMR. So they've been getting somewhere in kind of the small medical office market. They had nice, cool technology for that sort of early days. I don't know where they're going, but they always had a better version on the iPad than most other people. Hasn't grown that much, but they've done okay. Evercore sells a whole bunch of stuff of software to a whole bunch of people, has about 30 different products for small practices, and claims to have, I know, some ridiculous amount of the small practice market using some of its stuff. They reckon they have 72,000 small practices using something. So hopefully they'll be able to use Dr. Chrono as the EMR and grow both sides, and hopefully those guys have a decent result.
Interesting.
You interested about the opiates? About the fact I had a conference in Jacksonville? Or are you interested about Dr. Chrono? Or none of the above, really?
All of it. I mean, that just all really sounded like, I mean, it was spectacular how that just came tumbling out of your mouth.
No, they're good guys. They very briefly rented a desk at Health 2.0 because they hired away a sales guy from us, but he didn't want to move to their place down in San Jose. So he stayed in his office. He stayed in the office in San Francisco. And it took me a long time to get the money out of them. I cornered them at a rock health party and said, guys, you haven't paid me rent. You owe me like $1,000. And they were laughing.
I cornered them at a rock health party. You're like a thug.
Pretty much I was shaking him down. I think they were on their way out. I said, you two, you've been owing me rent for that seat for like a long time. I think it was like $1,000 or $2,000. That was the difference between us staying alive and going under. Probably
an infographic of all of the companies from Health 2.0 that like didn't pay you money over time that you also
I should have taken stock for instead. Yeah,
exactly.
And mention Medical or Prosper or any other thing.
Inflate the amount for like adjust it for inflation because this was so long ago, and find out how much you really have lost.
Adjust it for stock price inflation in the current era of private markets.
Indeed.
And $500 million rounds. Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Should have taken the money in stock and then maybe I'd have got something out of it. But that was a while ago. 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I could have done better just to buy Tesla stock with it, or to take your recommendations on Livongo, or basically take any recommendations that you made for me before this year.
We're going to come back, my friends. Things are not that bad. Yeah, although it's been a bad day for our health tech.
It's been a bad few weeks for the ones that you suggested I bought.
Yeah.
I hope you bought a few of them too, so they're sharing my pain.
Sorry, bonus question. Do you think that Omicron is going to impact positively our digital health portfolio or health tech portfolio?
I have no freaking idea. I guess the question is how bad is it? Everyone thought it was going to be terrible on Friday, and now on Monday it's all fine. So the answer is probably somewhere in the middle. But I mean, at some point, those the digital health remote care ones, Teladoc's obviously the biggest one, with the others who are doing that rather than the ones who are doing medical practices or are doing health plans, in that whole big portfolio that I show us occasionally. They did a little bit better on Friday morning than everyone else when the whole stock market tanked. Yeah. But I don't see the optimism saying, oh, let's run Teladoc back up to $280 a share or $300 a share, wherever it was. Now it's 2/3 off that. I was hoping, I think there'll be a little bounce up in that sector because they've come down so much. But I don't think it's going to change anything, because I don't think anyone's going to have the guts to put a major country really back into lockdown. I know Austria went into some of it, and they talk about it in Germany. But I mean, which American politician a year before the midterms is going to have the guts to put its state into lockdown? Can't see it.
I don't think so either.
So we'll just have to deal with it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, vaccination is going up. I'm getting my booster shot tomorrow.
Oh, good. For those curious to see how that's going to go, he'll be live tweeting. So follow along over there at BoltyBoy on Twitter. I'm going to chime in with my own commentary. Maybe you can FaceTime me from it and I can report live. I'm over at Jess and I. And to make sure you never miss an episode of Health in 2.0, any of the interviews that Matthew's doing, any of the brilliant blog posts that our contributors are writing, or the WTF Health interviews that occasionally grace the site, sign up for our email newsletter over there at thehealthcareblog.com.
Occasional is the right word. I had more interviews in the last newsletter than you do.
I know.
What have you been up to?
I was so sick, remember?
Oh, yeah, sorry. That whole sick thing. I know. I'm sure you got a few more in the can we need to get out there.
I feel better now.
Good. All right. Say goodbye to people.
Bye.